Okay, real quick. I'm editing this video and I just wanted to explain something. I have gotten so many messages on Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter asking me what my coming out was, I guess. And so I decided to just wake up one morning and open my camera, open my laptop and just talk to the camera. And it was originally only supposed to be 5 minutes so I can post it directly on Tumblr, but I talked for so long that I have to put it here on my YouTube channel. So that's why this is here. And it's just nothing fancy, it's just me talking to my camera. So yeah, that's all it is. Just enjoy or not. I don't care. Okay, so I just woke up and I checked Tumblr and I noticed how many people have been asking me what my coming out was, and I kind of disregarded it because I never really had one, so there's not much for me to say. Now thinking about it, I want to share it. I want to share my story, but it's so much easier to just talk to a camera than like typing it out because it's so complicated. Well, it's not complicated, it's just like, so basically this is going to be a stream of consciousness video. I'm just going to talk and hopefully it makes sense and you guys get it because, yep. Okay, my coming out, so to say, wasn't really a coming out. Fuck. My journey of me accepting myself and my family just kind of going along with that. Okay, we're starting from the beginning. 2013 was when I really started questioning my sexuality. I met my best friend there in Finland at this camp we were at, and I just made this connection with her that I've never made with someone before at that time. It was something special to me, and when I came home from Finland, I was just like, kind of like, oh, maybe that is what it was or whatever, and just kind of thinking about everything, especially since I was integrated in the women's soccer fan base. I was already exposed to a lot of gay women in the sport and the fans and whatever. I grew up in a very liberal home, and I'm very liberal. My family's liberal just in general, and I learned to accept everybody. And the entire time, it was never me worrying about what my family was gonna think of me, because I knew they'd accept me. It was just me trying to accept myself, wrap my head around like, oh, I might like girls, and that's totally fine. After that summer in Finland, I wrote a song called Labels, which is on my SoundCloud if you scroll far enough, and I posted that in the summer of 2014, and I never really explained it. I just kind of posted it out there, and people interpret it the way they interpret it. They listen to it, they don't listen to it. I didn't really care, but it was a song where it was just me kind of like, that was the first time I had like really like kind of showed out there like what I was thinking, like that I was kind of thinking about these things. And I remember my dad kind of asked about it, and I was just like, yeah, like, it's just about, like, labels in general, because I've never been fond of labels. And I just kind of played it off, because I didn't want him to think that it was really entirely, like, me, but it really was. So I just kind of was like, I played it off, but my mom was telling me a couple months ago that, like, when she first heard that song, that's when she really was like, oh, Miki's probably, like, questioning her sexuality, whatever, all that stuff. And I was like, yep, it's true. I remember one day I got this flag off Amazon, and I put it in my room, and my family, or my mom, like, walked in, and they'd see it, like, on their own. They were like, oh, cool. And I was like, yep. Just went in my room, and, like, I know, like, inside their heads now that I think about it, they're probably like, ah, it's just duh. In a way, I think my family knew before I did that I was, like, attracted to girls, too, or whatever. So it just kind of was, like, little things like this they'd notice, and I was like, last year, this French soccer blog interviewed me, and she noticed the flag was in my videos a lot, so she asked me about it, and that was really the first time I had technically publicly, was like, yeah, I don't label myself. I don't remember exactly what I said, the interview somewhere, but basically addressed that, like, I'm just kind of going with the flow, and I'm who I am, like, I'm attracted to whoever. After I said that to her, and I realized she was going to post the interview, I was like, oh, I just said that, like, that's gonna be out there, and, like, my family's gonna read it, so I'm like, oh, that's cool, because, like, I didn't have to, like, really say anything, like, I just kind of did it in a blog, and I know they read it. So I asked my mom, I was like, oh, did you read the interview? She's like, yeah, I loved it, like, I love the woman you're becoming, and I'm just so happy for you, like, growing, whatever. And I was like, oh. So she read it, she's fine with it, and, like, whatever. With that, last year, I started talking to this girl who lives around me, and that was the first girl I ever talked to. I remember I told my mom, like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this one girl, but, like, she doesn't know what talking means, like, because parents don't know that stuff, so, like, she just thought I was just, like, texting someone, but I kind of played it as if, like, oh yeah, like, I'm talking, like, but, like, I think she kind of got it, she kind of didn't. Anyway, so that ended. It was, like, kind of dumb. However many months went by, then there's another one that just was really toxic, and I'm so glad that, okay, this is a whole other topic, but I was in a really toxic time with someone, and it was bad, and she's kind of insane. Okay, getting sidetracked. Also, this entire time, ever since 2013, I had talked to my brother about this stuff all the time, and he was the first person I really talked to about, like, he knew everything, all my thoughts, and he was totally cool with it. And so, like, he's the rock I had, like, he was my rock, like, he was just so supportive. In February, when I started talking with Hope, after the first time we'd FaceTime for 9 hours. So I heard my family the next morning talking about it, and so I was so excited to go downstairs and talk to them about Hope, because after that FaceTime call, I knew deep in my heart and my bones and everywhere that I was this is something special. I was so excited to tell my family about her, and so I did. Then a couple weeks later, I told them that she was going to come here to California, and they're like, yeah, cool, we're stoked. I remember a week before she came here, me and my dad were driving to Vegas for a soccer tournament, and we spent 3 hours just talking about her, and I told him everything my brother had known, all my thoughts from my sexuality way back in the beginning when I first wrote labels, to now, to everything with Hope. He knew everything, and he knew absolutely everything, and it felt so good to say that. And if anything, it was me just realizing Dad, hey, by the way, I'm not straight, I'm queer, whatever label I could use, just know I'm not straight. And he's like, yeah, I kind of knew that. And I was like, yeah, me too. Okay, it's me editing again. I realized I missed a huge part. The time that I spent driving to Vegas with my dad, that was the same day that I had written Radiant Warmth, and as I was driving with him, I was debating whether to post it or not on SoundCloud, because I'd already recorded it before I left. And that was a huge thing for me. That was also sort of a part of this whole me being me and showing people that, I'm attracted to Hope, and whatever. We pulled over at a Starbucks, and we sat in the Starbucks, and I sat there for 15 minutes with it uploaded on my computer, and all I had to do was push post. And I'd always written songs that were gender neutral, and so this was the first song where it'd be me writing about a girl. And so that was a huge thing, and I was really worried as to what people were gonna say or react about it. And when I posted it, everyone loved it, and that one has been probably my most successful song. And also, I wrote that song because I'm really bad with words, and I had no other way of properly telling Hope my feelings for her. So I wrote the song mainly for that, but also, yeah, it just felt so relieving to put that out there and to have people hear my words that I was writing for this girl that I was totally infatuated with. And it just was this big, it was a big just weight off of my shoulders, and I truly felt at that point, there's not that there was no going back, but I was finally yeah, this is me. I'm taking ownership of it, because my music is such a big part of me that I'm incorporating my music with that. And just, I have no idea where I'm going with this anymore, but pretty much Radiant Warmth was also a huge part of this story that I totally forgot. A couple days before Hope came here, my mom and I were talking in her car, and she was like, so what's this, what are you and Hope gonna be? I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, are you gonna kiss her? I was like, well, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be too scared to kiss her first, so if she kisses me, yeah, I'll kiss her. something so dumb like that. But I was basically telling her, yeah, this is something so deep and so real, and I kind of knew I was already falling for Hope and falling in love with her, and just, yeah, it was just kind of cool to talk about that with my mom, be like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen, or whatever we talked about. I don't really remember. I have a really bad memory sometimes. When Hope was here, basically that week and a half, or a week that she was at my house at least, my family just watched us fall in love with each other. And I mean, I was already pretty much in love with her before that, but they kind of just watched it blossom even more, and they just could see it in our eyes and the way we were with each other. Because my mom told me after Hope had left, she's like, I've never seen you that happy. She told me she could see it in my eyes, and it just made me so happy to hear that from her. And she was so supportive and so excited. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, she's my girlfriend. She's like, yeah, I figured. Pretty much this entire, however, from 2013 when I first started questioning who I am, till now, it was basically me trying to accept myself. And then once I did, my family kind of knew it the entire time, because I was leaving these little hints pretty much, but I didn't really realize I was. And they pretty much knew before I really did, I guess. And so it never really was this big announcement to my family. It was just yeah, of course, or who cares, you're in love with Hope, we get it, it's awesome, so happy for you. And they adore her, and I'm so grateful for it, because not many people have that from a family. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be just some announcement. It should just be yeah, of course, who cares, or even it shouldn't be anything. It should be hey, I'm in love with this girl. It's all right, cool. And God, how I wish it was that for everybody. But anyway, so then while Hope was here, I was oh, I really want to post this picture of us kissing, because also I wanted people to kind of get it, because I mean, people saw her on my social media, but they didn't really know, I guess. So I posted on Twitter a picture of us, and it took me like 3 hours to like actually get the guts to do that, because I knew like my teammates and stuff would see it, and like my family in Finland, and I did that, and then I received nothing but positive reactions from people. And my teammates the next practice were like, "You guys are so cute. Like, we're so happy for you." I got texts from some really close friends, and like my assistant coach texted me, and like just it was just so overwhelming, and it made me so happy. And I genuinely am so grateful for everything. And like I don't really know why I was ever worried about stuff like this, or why my stupid head was overthinking everything, but it's just I'm so happy right now, and I love what my life is right now, and life's beautiful, and hope's beautiful, and hope makes life beautiful, but you guys know that. So pretty much I made this because I wanted people to know that it wasn't, for me, it wasn't like an announcement. It literally was just like me discovering myself, my family already kind of knowing, because it just flowed. And it wasn't just like, hey, I'm gay, or hey, I like girls, or hey, this. Like, it was just like, they're like, oh yeah, duh, or like, okay, cool, or that's a new thing, awesome. Like, it flowed, and it was how it should be, and I'm so grateful for that, and I wish everyone had it like that. But I honestly don't know if this made any sense. I probably missed out a ton of stuff, but whatever. This how my brain works. But uh okay, I think I said everything. We'll see. I have no idea. Okay, yeah, we'll see if I said everything right. I don't know.